Hello, this is the second video in my series of Confidence for Women and Female Empowerment. I was inspired to do this video because one of my very good friends from my college just informed me that she has had her hair relaxed since she was a baby. She's never seen her natural hair. And I thought this was very interesting. One, because we both graduated from Mount Holyoke College. It's an all women's institution in South Hadley, Massachusetts. And one thing that the women that go through that college find out about themselves is much deeper than just what they find out in the classrooms and what they learn and how much their intellect grows, but also who they are as people, who they are in this position of the world, and who they are as women in general. And a lot of the black women and the other female women of color, like Afro Latinos and other women, find out more about their roots and about their history, and they go through this conscious cycle and they come out the other side big, beautiful, and black and loving it unapologetically. And that also includes showing a lot of beauty of their hair. So this good friend of mine just told me literally like 5 minutes ago that she did not ever see her natural hair. And I said, baby, I will make a video dedicated to you because this is crazy. And I know that if she is one of the women who went through Mount Holyoke College and did not cut her hair, start new, did the big chop, or show her natural hair after all that conscious growth, then there's so many more women out there who have not done this, especially without the opportunity to go to a college like this one. So I decided to get out of bed, put on some hoop earrings and a necklace, maybe look like some type of done up, and talk to you all today. First of all, when it comes to doing the big chop, especially if you are a woman of color, particularly if you are a black woman, it can be daunting. It can be a little hard. It can seem very scary, and that's all understandable. One reason that I keep shaving my head and shaving my head and shaving my head is because it's very easy for me to walk around with my natural hair. It is a bold move to cut all my hair off all the time, but in the end of the day, I kind of see it as the same thing. If you all have watched any of my other videos on YouTube, then you know that I am Rastafari. I was raised Rastafarian. I had dreadlocks. I've never had relaxed hair in my life. I've only had natural hair. So my story is a bit different from a lot of women who grow up thinking one thing and then having to make that switch in their universities or when they make that conscious journey and then they turn their hair back to the way it's supposed to be, the way it's naturally supposed to be. So I was always raised since I was a Rasta girl, knowing that it was brainwashing wanting to have your hair straight, that you would want to be white having your hair straight, to you will be adhering to a Eurocentric standard of beauty, trying to have your hair straight, wanting to have your hair straight, wanting to have your eyes light, wanting to just look more and more and more Eurocentric. I want my nose done to make it more straight. I want to reduce my lips. I want to make sure that I'm really, really, really skinny. I want blonde hair. I want straight blonde hair. I want to look like that Beyonce blonde hair. It's like all of that I knew was something negative because my mother instilled in me that it was something negative. She made me hate it so much that I could do nothing but love everything that I was. And I was black. I was very black. My hair is the most coarse in all of my family. Between my three sisters and I, between my two sisters and I, it's three of us. I have the curliest hair. I have the kinkiest fro. Loved it. I had the darkest skin growing up. Loved it. My mother made me love it, and my sisters only gave me confidence from it. They never made fun of something that was black on me. If they made fun of me, it was because I had a gap or because I looked funny in a photo here and there. It wasn't because my skin was the darkest and my hair was the curliest. So those features of my body, I've only been fed things that made me feel confident about them. Mainly that my mother told me that they were beautiful. And so I know the struggle when I see a woman or I hear of a woman or I talk to one of my friends who is a beautiful grown woman who still hasn't had that launch of their natural journey because of a lot of the things that they did growing up and a lot of the information that they were fed about themselves growing up. So, I wanted to say that when you cut your hair, I do want you women to cut your hair when you're ready. Even though I'm a complete and total advocate for natural hair, I do think that it's something you should do when you're ready. Because if you don't do it when you're ready, once you cut it, you're not going to feel relieved and liberated. You will feel angry. You will feel ugly. You will feel like you don't want to be in your skin. You already didn't want to be in your skin. That's why your hair was fried in the first place. And now you really don't want to be in your skin because you're in this position where you feel so unattractive. You don't know what to do to make yourself confident. And I believe in confidence. So even though it's hard for me to say wait, I do want you to wait when you're ready, but there is a time when you need to be ready. And that readiness should be when you're young. It should be when you're vibrant. It should be when you have the world to travel in terms of years of life. You have all these years where you can grow as a person, and you growing as a true black individual is one of the most beautiful things that you can grow up being. So I do say wait till you're comfortable, but I say find when you are comfortable soon so you can make that switch and that change. Another thing I want to say about natural hair is that natural hair is not just, oh, let me just take this white whipping slash weave out. It's much more than that. It is a representation of who you are, and it is connecting so deeply to your roots that you are willing to go back to them. Back to them, literally meaning the roots of your hair. You are willing to hold on to who you are as a black individual so much, so badly, so beautifully that you are able to show how your hair will grow, who you are, what you were born to do. And that expression of self is already showing confidence, is already showing beauty, is already showing rebellion, because the society you live in, whichever society you live in, is a Eurocentric standard of beauty society. Whether or not you live now, body size might be different, but at the same time, if you look at the media in any country around the world, unless you are in an all black city or an all black state or all black country, there is going to be the whitest and the lightest, always, in any media. You look on TV for India, for example, and you see people looking light, bright, damn near white. And Indians are darker than me. And when you see a lot of them on the street, here I'm in South Korea. When I see a lot of them come and travel here, or see a lot of the Indians who do live here, I see them darker than me. And this is just frequent because the average Indian is a dark-skinned Indian. But whatever you see on mainstream media is going to be the lightest and the brightest. So wherever you see a standard of beauty in any major country, in any country that has major media, is going to be a white standard. That's just the way the world is now. So it is a rebellion against what people are telling you have to look like, what people are feeding you that you have to look like, and the things that they want you to not be proud of. One thing about wanting or needing to feel beautiful only if you have something straight on your head or something that resembles someone else, namely the white Eurocentric standard of beauty, it's telling yourself that you are not pretty unless you don't look like yourself. Nothing about yourself is beautiful. Yes, you can't help being in the same skin that you are, even though some people try to bleach their skin out. So you can't help being in the same skin that you are, but not only can you not help that, but you're trying to cover it with whatever man-made material you can. And that's buying something and putting it on. Both my sisters both wear synthetic hair. And because we grew up the same way, I know that their reason for wearing synthetic hair is not the same reason that a lot of people wear synthetic hair. But wearing synthetic hair is very different from having relaxed hair. Having relaxed hair is cutting off everything Afro about who you are, because it's hiding everything Afro about who you are. Now, a lot of women wear protective hairstyles, so they have long braids and they have faux locks and they have all these things that they wear. And that is just to protect their hair and or cover their hair if they want to try different styles, because us as Black women are so eccentric that we have to show our style and our beauty, and we do it in very different ways, and we can do it in every different texture. So I do understand that, and I'm not saying that that is what we need to stop doing, even though I'm the woman who doesn't wear anything that isn't kinky. If I'm wearing synthetic hair, it has to be kinky synthetic hair. It has to be so kinky that only I would put it on myself. And I've only worn synthetic hair, I think, once in my entire life, once or twice in my entire life. And both of those times have been faux locks, and they have just resembled the dreadlocks that I used to have as a baby. So I'm, again, not saying anything about wearing synthetic hair, wearing protective hairstyles, but if you have relaxed hair, learn more about yourself. Read up on, the Afro in the 1950s and the 1960s before it was made to be this fashion trend of the 1970s. Read up on what it means to have natural hair, how women used it to push back against that Eurocentric standard of beauty and to come into themselves, to be organizers on the street and on the road, where they couldn't have that slick straight hair on their face because they were sweating it out all the time. They had to wear their natural hair in order to get down in the dirt and do what they needed to do in order to create change, in order to effectively have a role in the civil rights movement. Learn more about what it means to have this natural hair. It's not just this movement. Even though it is a movement, some people are mad that it's a movement. Like, oh, people are just doing it because it's fun. This is how I feel about it. If you are doing it because it's fun, please keep doing it because it's fun. Because this is a movement that needs to happen. It's a movement that I ain't mad. I ain't mad that it's happening. But at the same time, you should read up on it. And the more relaxed haired women read up on what it means to have natural hair, maybe that will boost your confidence in order to have it, because it's much more than just following this trend. It says a lot about who you are and who you will grow into as a woman. So I encourage all of my beautiful Black queens to go out and shave off that nasty, relaxed, poisonous, toxic hair that is burning your scalp and hiding everything true, beautiful, and Black about you. Be strong, be beautiful, be queens. Until next time.